Okay, it's Brews with Founders.
It is. I'm Rick Santiago, co-founder of Indie Audio Labs, along with
Ted Moore, also co-founder of Indie Audio Labs. And today we're enjoying Three Floyd's Gumball Head from
That's
Munster,
right.
Indiana.
Northern Indiana, also made in America. Yes, very smooth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, today's topic for Brews with Founders is IAL manufacturing. You know, how do we build the stuff that we build? And just to remind you what we build really high-end, kick-ass audio electronics made in America. So this is really high-performance stuff. And we thought it'd be really great just to dabble with how we go about making our products.
It all starts with electronics and software, and we've decided from day one we were going to design our own electronics. So there's a lot of companies that sort of, take a menu of checkboxes and hand it to an OEM overseas and say, here, we'll take this, this, and this, and they come back with a product with their name on it, and that's not how we chose to do it. We chose to do it the hard way.
Right.
we got a lot of flack for that, but we're actually glad in retrospect we did, because we've got one of the only processor platforms that's actually truly designed and made in the U.S. We've got very unique amplifier IP. We've got some of the fastest slew rate amplifiers on the planet with our Aragon line, and the results are great. I mean, if any of you were at CEDIA, saw us in Sound Room 9 at the expo, it was an amazing demo, and just gave you a little taste of what we can do in your theaters and your customers' theaters. So.
Right. So why did we make the choice of manufacturing, doing our own designs? And keep in mind, we did this, when we started the company back in 2009. So back in those days, that was really crazy talk. Now it's not so much crazy talk, but back in those days it was. So Rick and I both had some experience with getting electronics done in China. So we wanted to avoid that path if we could. And we set forth just to basically make that happen. There's a lot of reasons to do it. It's not always about cost. And in the end, it could be argued that it may be a little more expensive to actually make overseas because you need support staff and so forth. The main reason is control. We get to control the products, we get to control how they're made, what kind of quality level we want. We have suppliers we've used for many, many years, and they're fantastic people.
Yeah.
IP protection. So we don't offshore our IP. We keep it all in-house. And there's a lot of our competitors that actually just have foregone the whole IP pathway, and they just let other companies, other manufacturers, Asian manufacturers, really control what their roadmap's going to look like and what their sort of component choices are going to be and all that kind of stuff. Even down to the software level, we don't do that. We do everything in-house. We do all of the electronic design, we do all the mechanical design, we do all the software. And that means we can control everything, which is exactly how we want it. So we don't compromise, and that's the main issue here is, especially for audio, it's our number one thing. We just don't compromise on that part of it. And also for planning, future planning, it gives us the freedom to plan our product and technical roadmap the way we want and the way we think it needs to be done.
That's a lot of work. I mean, we've got, what do we have now, 19 custom boards, something like that?
19 boards and
That's
growing.
a lot. And some of them are pretty complicated.
Yeah, we actually have one here.
Here's an example of one of our very complicated ones.
So this is a main system board for our processor line.
Yeah.
And this is all us, and this is assembled just about a mile away from our Indianapolis operation.
Yeah.
At one of our suppliers who does our board assembly. We actually have assembly done in 3 different locations: Indiana, Texas, and California, for various custom boards depending upon complexity and rate of usage and so forth. But this is definitely one of our most complicated ones. But by and large, we've got 490, almost 500 individual components that we've chosen. And across all our boards, that's about 6,000 placements of parts.
Yeah.
So these are sophisticated boards.
And the good news is because we're in control of all those details, that means as parts change, they become unavailable, or new better parts become available, we can move things in and out and have full visibility to it and control that. And that was probably the main reason that we were able to navigate and survive the chip shortage, because we had that visibility and we were able to pivot.
That's right.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we're small enough that we could, if a part wasn't available, we could do what we needed to do, talk to other suppliers or other distributors and get that part in quickly. If we needed to make a modification, that was something we could do quickly. That was actually not really needed that much because we had our own supply of parts that carried us through the bulk of that supply chain. But that ability to move quickly and nimbly, especially during that kind of challenge, was really, absolutely 100% needed during that time.
and we're pretty picky about parts, actually, to the point where even in our Aragon amps, we actually hand select things like output transistors. We actually do final assembly and creating those really fast, high-end, high-current amplifier cards that go into our Aragon amps. Those are all final assembled with hand-picked transistors here in Indianapolis. Those are the kind of things that we can't even let that go to even another US-based supplier, because there's some very proprietary ways that we do the matching of the transistors to get the kind of performance that we get out of Aragon. So it's a lot of stuff. If you ever come to visit us, get to see that in person. But we're proud of it, and it's been absolutely worth it from a results perspective.
Definitely.
There's a lot of speaker companies in the industry that.
Time for drinking.
Oh, time for. We'll do some edits there, I'm sure.
And we extend those kinds of choices not just to the electronics, but also to the mechanicals. Things are designed taking into account, heat flow, E&M interference, how well, or how easy, I should say, is it to assemble? Did we put a screw in the right place in the board so that we can actually get to the screw? Just a lot of little details like that go into the design of our products to make sure that not only are they going to sound fantastic for you, but they're going to be durable, and we're going to be proud of them, 12, 15, 20 years after we built them and shipped them out of the factory.
Well, that calls to mind, our warranty. I mean, the fact that we do all those things, we have enough confidence that we can offer a full 5-year warranty, where if there's any issue whatsoever, we're happy to repair or replace the product at our expense because of that warranty. And the reality is that we very rarely have to even exercise that. So
Right.
what you want is not to have to deal with that either. So that's why
Right.
we were confident in it.
Exactly. I mean, that tells you the kind of, for us to make that kind of warranty available. And by the way, if we offer up an upgrade kit and customer sends that back to our headquarters here, where we actually have our factory, and we do the upgrade, we'll reset the warranty back to another 5 years. And we've done that a couple of times with products that we sold, in 2014 and so forth. So that future proofing, or it's not about having something that's disposable, it's about keeping something that's really well made and enjoying it for a long time. Even as the underlying technology and the industry changes, HDMI certs and so forth, that kind of thing we're aware of, and we maintain that kind of continuity through our generations as they go forward. All of that comes from our attention to detail and the fact that we chose to make our products in the USA. That gives us that control to make sure that we deliver those things the way they need to be.
And this year, our operations are more strong than ever. We've expanded our staff. We've now made it to the point where in production, we are putting a good 1 to 3 months of inventory on the shelf ready to deliver, so that you don't have any lead time issues when you place an order with us. You place an order and we're able to ship that order very quickly. I think there's from what I'm hearing, there's other companies that are a little slow right now in terms of turnaround and fulfillment. That's fortunately because of all the work that we've done and because of spooling up all the suppliers that we've been able to qualify. We've made a very strong supply chain here in the US, and we've got product on the shelf that's ready to ship. So if you've got a project that needs to be done next week, you can get the product really quickly in time for your project. So
that's a great point. So hopefully that kind of gives you a sense of, the level of manufacturing we do here at Indie Audio Labs for Acurus and Aragon products. And we'll have more of these videos coming up, and maybe we'll show a little bit deeper dive into some of that stuff, and as well as sort of the geeky stuff with the product itself. We can talk about some of our Class A/B amplifier topology, because there's a lot of cool stuff that goes on there as well. And so look for more of these videos coming in the future. Thanks, guys.
Shout out to Made in American Electronics and Made in America Beer.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.